OK, and the question concerns best-selling books, popular and best-selling to boot. Richard.
Yeah, on each pass, we're going to give you the names of 7 best-selling novels, but we've missed out one word from the title. Can you fill in that word, please? We're also going to give you the surname of the author and the year it was published too. So just one word missing from each of them. There's going to be 14 in all to have a go at home. Very best of luck. OK, thanks very much. So we're looking for the missing word from the titles of these best-selling books, and here they are. Here's our first board of 7. We have got The Blank World, Crichton, 1995. The Blank Season, Shannon, 2013. Brideshead Blank, 1945, War. The Blank Runner, Hosseini, 2003. The Girl Who Blank the Hornet's Nest, Larson, 2007. The Catcher in the Blank, Salinger, 1951. And How Stella Got Her Blank Back, Macmillan, 1996. I can't tell you how hard it is to read those out. The Blank World, Crichton, 1995. The Blank Season, Shannon, 2013. Brideshead Blank, 1945, War. The Blank Runner, Hosseini, 2003. The Girl Who Blank the Hornet's Nest, Larson, 2007. The Catcher in the Blank, Salinger, 1951. How Stella Got Her Blank Back, Macmillan, 1996. Liz, welcome.
Hello.
Lovely to have you here on Pointless. You're some sort of engineer, Paul said.
Civil engineer.
A civil engineer. What sort of engineering do you do?
Oh, we work in the nuclear industry.
Right, OK. And when not engineering, what do you like to get up to?
Training for a triathlon at the moment.
How's it going?
Average.
Which is the bit you like the most?
Swimming.
Oh, swimming.
Yeah.
Which is the bit you dread?
Probably the running.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
it's at the end as well.
Yeah. Mind you,
knackered.
the end is in sight once you're on the run,
True.
once you've got your trainers
True.
on. Yeah, OK. So, Liz, books. You and Paul both look very happy with that, I think.
Maybe. I know a few, but I think I'll play it fairly safe and go for Brideshead Revisited.
Brideshead Revisited, says Liz. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. It's right. Oh, it's high. Oh, 82. Oh, Liz. Well, still, it's a lot better than 100.
True.
82.
Yeah, that really is safe, I have to say. Although if there's one thing I look for in a nuclear engineer, it's safety. So I admire it.
Yeah.
If Liz was like a maverick risk taker, I'd start to worry.
Good point. Good point. Thank you, Richard. Now, Amanda, welcome. Welcome to Pointless. What do you do, Amanda?
Well, I'm a graphic designer.
Graphic designer. What do you design?
I do a 68-page magazine monthly for the village, and I'm currently designing a guidebook for our local church.
That's quite fun. So how do you, so the magazine, that keeps you, that's, yeah, regular
Busy,
stuff. You must be
yes.
absolutely on top of every last word of what's going down. Where are you, Stowmarket?
Near Stowmarket.
Near
Yeah, I'm in a
Stowmarket.
village near Stowmarket.
God, what's the name of the village?
Backton.
What do you do in your spare time, Amanda?
We've got an elderly pony who's, in human years, 100 years old.
That
so
is
he
elderly.
takes quite a lot of care.
Yeah. What's that in pony years?
He's 36.
Oh, that is, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very old. But he's all right.
He's fine,
He's
yeah.
OK,
He
well, that's-
soldiers on, yeah. He's...
You must have looked after him incredibly well.
Well, I hope so.
Very good. OK, Amanda, these books, how do you find that as a board, generally?
It's not bad. There are a couple on there that I feel I know, but I can't bring to mind. But I'm going to say The Kite Runner.
The Kite Runner, says Amanda, The Kite Runner. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 said it. It's right. Well, it beats 82 by quite a margin, in fact. Down it goes. Look, 18. Very well done, Amanda. The Kite Runner.
Well played, Amanda. Yeah, it became a huge international bestseller. Took everyone by surprise. Sold millions and millions everywhere.
Nina, books with bits missing. What are you going to go for?
I think I'll go for The Catcher in the Rye.
The Catcher in the Rye, says Nina. The Catcher in the Rye. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. You also pass 82, but not by very many. 74 for The Catcher in the Rye there, Nina.
Yeah, I thought that might be a bit higher, actually, given Brideshead Revisited, so it's not a bad score, 74. Yeah, again, one of the best-selling books of all time, Catcher in the Rye.
Indeed. Indeed. Thanks, Richard. Now, Peter. Peter, welcome. Lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
What do you do, Peter?
I'm a civil engineer in the water industry.
Which element of the water industry? Is it the clean bit or the slightly dirty bit?
Well, it's actually both, but probably a bit dirtier. Lean towards the dirty side.
I see. The treatment of water. So I'm going to call it sewage. Is that all right? Am I allowed to do that? What they delicately call brown water in certain circumstances.
I'm very familiar with it, yeah.
Yeah. And what are your hobbies, Peter?
I'm a season ticket holder at Manchester City Football Club, and I enjoy going to watch comedy, stand-up comedy, and I also enjoy listening to music.
Very good indeed. Now, Peter, I'm hoping one of your interests is books with words missing, because the easy ones, I think, have been taken from that plate, haven't they?
Certainly have. I'm afraid I'm going to have to take a punt or a guess. So my guess would be how Stella got her mind back.
How Stella got her mind back, says Peter. How Stella got her mind back. Let's see if it's right. Let's see if anyone said it. I'm sorry, Peter. Listen, really good news. You're not that far ahead of the crowd, actually. Two others among your rivals who are really quite close behind you, but there you are. You are on 100 points. That's an incorrect answer.
Yeah, sorry, Peter. That's what we call a brown water answer on this show. Let's fill in the rest of these. The top one is the sequel to Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton.
The Lost.
The Lost World. Whoa. That would have scored you 16. The next one is the best answer on the board. It's The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. 1 point for that. It's The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest, Stieg Larsson. Huge bestseller worldwide, 26 points for that. And the bottom one, not mind back, is How Stella Got Her Groove Back. Absolutely, 8 points for that. So Bone Season, best answer on the board. Well done if you said that.
Thanks very much indeed. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at those scores. 18, Amanda. Then all the way up to 74, where we find Nina and John, up to 82, where we find Liz and Paul, and then up to 100, where we find Peter and Steve over there on the fourth podium. But Steve, you get first pick of the next board, so find a really nice low-scoring one if you can. Maybe it'll keep you in the game. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please step up to the podium? OK, let's put 7 more edited novels up on the board, and here they are. We have got The Prodigal Blank Archer, 1982, The Da Vinci Blank Brown, 2003, The Blank Thief, Zusak, 2005, Gone Blank Flynn, 2012, East of Blank Steinbeck, 1952, The Blank in Our Stars, Green, 2012, and The Silver Blank Costain, 1952. I'll read those one last time. The Prodigal Blank Archer, 1982, The Da Vinci Blank Brown, 2003, The Blank Thief, Zuzak, 2005, Gone Blank Flynn, 2012, East of Blank Steinbeck, 1952, The Blank in Our Stars, Green, 2012, and The Silver Blank Costain, 1952. There we are. Now, remember, we're looking for the missing word from each of these books' titles. Steve, welcome.
Hi.
Now, you work alongside Peter.
I do, yes.
Not below?
No.
No.
I work in the offices as well.
Just in the office as well. And how long have you worked together?
We initially met about 13 years ago. And we've been working on different projects since. And we sort of flit in and out, don't we?
Yeah.
And, but we're just still around the same offices.
Very
still
good.
Working on different projects, really.
Whose idea was it to come on the show?
I think I said to Pete one day, maybe we should go on. We've got a shared interest in quizzes and works quizzes and pub quizzes and that type of thing. We just thought it'd be a fun thing to do.
Very good. Well, listen, to keep it being fun, what we really need from you, Steve, is a low score here. How are you feeling about this board?
There's a couple I know, I think.
It's got to be a low score from you, Steve.
Yes, yes. And one of them, I think, would be a bit high for me. So I think we need to go for the other one, which would be The Fault in Our Stars.
The Fault in Our Stars, says Steve. No red line for you as you're the highest scorers, but let's see how many of our 100 people said The Fault in Our Stars. It's right. Still going down. Still going down, 15. Our lowest score so far, Steve, so congratulations for that. 115 is your total. Maybe that will keep you in.
Well played, Steve, giving yourself a big chance there. Yeah, much loved book, sold 10 million copies, been made into a film, all sorts of things. Thanks
very much, Richard. Now, John, welcome to Pointless.
Thank you.
Great to have you here, John. You were a Salvation Army officer as well, I
Yes,
think.
along with
right?
Nina, we've worked together all those years.
All those years, my goodness, that's a long service. Very good. What did you do when you left?
When I left, I took on a new career. I worked in a call centre for 4 years for an energy company.
They have slightly less good brass bands, don't they? No.
Well, I looked after customers,
Yes.
which came quite naturally.
That's good. God, I'd so like to get John. Oh, if you went through to a call centre and it was John who answered, that'd be lovely.
Delighted, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I'd keep complaining for weeks.
I know.
I could talk to him.
OK, now, John, what you have to do is score 40 or less.
Well, Steve's taken the best one, I thought, which was a beautiful book, Fault in Our Stars. I'll go for the next best one and say The Book Thief.
The Book Thief. The Book Thief. There it is, the Zusak. Let's see. There is your red line. If you can get below that, you remain with us for the next round. Let's see how many of our 100 people said The Book Thief. It's right. You are absolutely through, John and Dina. Very well done indeed. 24 takes your total up to 98.
Very well played. Oh, he's good, John, isn't he? That's very good. That book spent over 7 years on the New York Times bestseller list, The Book Thief.
Wow.
Yeah, how about that?
That's
Ironically.
a long time. Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much, Richard. Now, Gail, welcome. Welcome to Pointless. And what do you do, Gail?
I'm retired, and for 20-odd years I was a press officer at a local college of further education. I retired about a year ago, and I now understand what people mean when they say, I don't know how I ever had time to go to work.
Everything's just crowding in.
Yes,
all right. What were the things you hoped you'd be doing a year after retiring?
To be honest, I never thought I would retire. I kind of was thinking I'd never be able to give it up and stop working.
Yeah.
But since I have, I've been doing a lot of interesting things locally. There's a wonderful Georgian theatre in Bury St Edmunds, and I volunteer as a tour guide there and also sort of help out with organising the tours. And they've got a 50th anniversary celebration this year. They're picking up some interviewing people who were there in the 1960s, and I'm helping out with that as well. So it's a really nice place.
You've just stopped working quite hard in one area and now working quite hard in several.
Yes.
There we are. Now, Gail, you're on 18. If you score 96 or less, which I think you can do...
I have to say, this is like our dream round. If we don't get through to round 2, this was a good one. I'm tempted to take a punt at that bottom one, but then if we're knocked out because of that, I'll never be spoken to again. So I'm going to go East of Eden.
East of Eden. East of Eden, says Gail. Here is your red line beautifully high. If you can get below that with East of Eden, you are through to the next round. How many of our 100 said East of Eden? Absolutely right. Did everything it needed to do, Gail. Well done. 60. 78 your total.
Yeah, very well played. Big scorer, though. Again, it's consistently sold, and then Oprah picked it for her book club in 2003, and it went through another massive sort of spike in sales.
Thank you, Richard. So, now, Paul. What do you do, Paul?
Mechanical engineer.
In the nuclear,
industry, yes.
So, I'm guessing, is that how you and Liz met?
Exactly that, yeah.
Just one look and boom.
5 minutes of engineering chat,
Yeah.
and she was mine.
Oh, how nice. What do you do when you're not doing that, Paul?
I like to do a bit of mountain biking, a bit of walking, a bit of snowboarding, anything with a hill, really.
Anything with a hill. See, that's your Scottish background, I think,
That
coming
must be
through.
it.
Very good indeed. Now, you've sat there very patiently while people have been picking off these answers. Is there anything left on that board that you're feeling confident about?
I'm confident about a couple. The Da Vinci Code, Gone Girl, I think, are both quite obvious ones, but I'd be guessing at the other two.
OK, well, listen, I'm going to put it in context for you. You have to score 32 or less. Otherwise, it's Gone Boy and Girl.
I'm going to hope... Gonna hope Gone Girl is so recent people didn't know it and go with Gone Girl.
OK, Gone Girl, says Paul. Here's your red line. Let's hope it's so recent. People are standing so close to it they can't see it. Let's find out. Will Gone Girl get you below that red line and keep you in the game? It's doing it so far. It's done it! Look at that, 22! Well done. Very well reasoned, Paul. 104 is your total. You remain with us.
Yes, well played, Paul. I think a very famous book, but I think just because the clue looks quite difficult, doesn't it? Especially if you don't know the name of the author. So I think that's why it only scored 22. Let's fit in the rest of these. Now, Da Vinci Code, you're absolutely right to avoid. Would have scored you 93 points. Now, what do you think the top one is?
It's daughter.
It is
the
Prodigal
answer,
Daughter,
but
yeah.
yes,
and it scores 9 points.
No.
Yeah, 9. Well, I think so many
suppose-
people would have assumed
yeah.
it's Prodigal Son because it's...
Yeah.
Now, the bottom one is a pointless answer. Gail, you were going to have a go at that one.
Yes, I thought it was the Silver Tassie.
The Silver Tassie.
Yes.
If you'd said Silver Tassie, you'd be out because it's the silver chalice.
Oh, thank God.
Silver chalice. The silver chalice is Sean O'Casey play, but very well done if you said silver chalice at home. Terrific answer.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, at the end of our first round, I'm afraid the pair who are heading home with their high score of 115, it's Steve and Peter. Oh, but we saw promise there. We saw great promise. We know what to look forward to next time we see you, well, I'm sure we'll go much, much further. But meantime, thanks very much for playing. Steve and Peter. Dickens characters and their novels. Dickens characters and their novels. Richard.
Yes, on each pass, we're going to give you the names of 6 characters created by Charles Dickens. You just need to tell us which novel or novella they appeared in. Give us a nice obscure answer, you're going to score fewer points, but an incorrect answer will score you 100 points. It's going to be 12 in all to have a go at home. Very best of luck.
OK, so we are looking for the novels or novellas in which these Dickens characters appeared. And we have got Bill Sikes, Little Nell, The Ghost of Jacob Marley, Mr. Micawber, James Carker, and Miss Havisham. I'll read those all one last time. Bill Sikes, Little Nell, The Ghost of Jacob Marley, Mr. Micawber, James Carker, and Miss Havisham. There we are, 6 Dickens characters. We need to know the novel or novella they came from. Krish.
I've never read a single Dickens novel, unfortunately, and I don't really read for fun, so this doesn't really bode well for me at all. I'm gonna go for Miss Havisham, Bleak House.
Bleak House, says Krish for Miss Havisham. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Bleak House. Bad luck, Krish. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, which scores you the maximum of 100 points. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Krish, but on the upside, if you don't read for fun, you're going to be a brilliant corporate lawyer. I'll give the correct answer at the end of the pass.
Mary.
Right, do I go safe or do I not? I'll go for Bill Sikes in Oliver Twist.
Oliver Twist, says Mary for Bill Sikes. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said Oliver Twist. It's right. 40. For Oliver Twist.
Yeah, absolutely right. Bill Sikes is a horrible, villainous housebreaker.
Louise. So remember, we're looking for the novels or novellas these Dickens characters appeared in. You're the last person to have this board, Louise, so do feel free to talk us through it and fill in any blanks.
Right, well, the one that I'm really confident on is Miss Havisham, because I've just finished reading Great Expectations, but I think that might be quite high. The Ghost of Jacob Marley, I think, is A Christmas Carol. And then I've got an inkling that Mr. Micawber is David Copperfield. I know there's a film of David Copperfield and W.C. Fields is in it. I think he plays Mr. Micawber, so it's a bit of a guess. But I'll go for David Copperfield.
David Copperfield, you're saying for Mr. Micawber. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said it, if it is. It's right. Very well done, Louise. There's your reward. Brilliant score, Louise. Great answer. 5 for David Copperfield.
Yeah, well played, Louise. Terrific answer. And you're absolutely right, played by W.C. Fields in a film from the mid-30s. Let's go through the rest of the board. I bet you'll be good at this. Louise has already given us a couple of them, actually. Miss Havisham, absolutely right, was Great Expectations. And right again, that would have scored you more, would have scored you 35. And The Ghost of Jacob Marley is from A Christmas Carol. Would have scored 38. Little Nell.
The old curiosity shop.
Yep, absolutely. I would have scored 9. And James Carker is the best answer on that board. In fact, James Carker is a pointless answer.
I don't know.
Well done to anyone at home who said Dombey and Son. Dombey and Son, pointless answer.
Thanks very much. We're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at those scores. Louise, well done, you. 5. Cracking score there. Louise and Ian looking very strong at this stage. Up to 40, where we find Mary and Sarah, and then up to 100, where Krish and David are to be found. David, it's going to require a miracle, but it's also going to require a very low score from you in the next pass.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can dig us out this hole.
OK, well,
very,
very best of luck with that, David. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more Dickens characters on the board, and here they are. We have got John Jarndyce, Ebenezer Scrooge, Sidney Carton, Thomas Gradgrind, Sarah Gamp, and Philip Pip Pirrip. I'll read those all one last time. John Jarndyce, Ebenezer Scrooge, Sidney Carton, Thomas Gradgrind, Sarah Gamp and Philip Pirrip. Now remember, we are looking for the Dickens novels or novellas in which these characters appeared. And obviously, Ian, you're going to try and find the one you think the fewest of our 100 people knew.
There's only two that I'm pretty sure of, but I'm going to go for Sidney Carton, who I think was the hero of A Tale of Two Cities.
Sidney Carton, Tale of Two Cities, says Ian. Here's your red line. If you can get below that, you're in the head-to-head. Tale of Two Cities, is that right? And if it is, how many people said it? Absolutely right, and you're through. 8. A great score, Ian, and a fabulous total of 13. Very, very well done.
Yeah, very well played, Ian. They're pretty good on that last podium, aren't they? Yeah. Very good scoring. Yeah, he's the drunkard. He redeems himself at the end of the novel by taking someone else's place at the guillotine. He's the man who says...
Far, far better.
It is a far, far better thing I do than I've ever done.
Indeed. Sarah?
Yeah,
You're on 40, high scorers, David and Krish on 100. If you can score 59, you're through.
There's one that I know for definite and one that I think I know. With my track record, I should go for the definite. But I'm going to go for the bottom one, Pip, and I think he's Great Expectations as well.
Let's see. Is that right? Great Expectations? How many people said it? Absolutely right. Through you go. Very well done. 33. 73. Our two nurses go through to the head-to-head.
Yes, of course, the novel's narrator and hero, Pip Pirrip. Very good answer.
Now then, David, I have grave news.
Yeah.
We shall be saying goodbye to you at the end of this round, even before you've given your answer. Can you talk us through the board?
Well, the only one I know for definite that's left is Ebenezer Scrooge and A Christmas Carol. Apart from that, I really have no idea. It's going to annoy my dad because he's read loads of Dickens, so... yeah, and actually, funny enough, one of the characters he always goes on about is this lawyer who's really, really horrible. So I'm going to guess Thomas Gradgrind, Bleak House.
Thomas Gradgrind, Bleak House, says David, taking a bit of a punt. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said Bleak House. Bad luck. Bad luck, David. An incorrect answer, as it turns out. Scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 200. Richard?
Yeah, I think the name of the lawyer you're thinking of in Bleak House is Tulkinghorn. I think maybe who your dad is talking about. And Thomas Gradgrind is a northern industrialist in hard times. I think children should only be taught facts. 3 points that would have scored you. John Jarndyce is from Bleak House.
Bleak House.
Absolutely right. Would have scored 4 points. Ebenezer Scrooge, absolutely right, was A Christmas Carol, but would have been a big scorer. So there's no point going for it, 63 points. And Sarah Gamp is a pointless answer. Very well done. If you said name of Dickens' book.
Little Dorrit.
Martin Chuzzlewit. Martin Chuzzlewit. Pointless answer. Very well done if you got that.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So at the end of our second round, the losing pair with the highest score, I'm afraid it's David and Krish, our newest members of the 200 Club. That wasn't a great round for you, was it, that one?
No.
I mean, not really at all.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we will look forward to seeing you again next time, David and Krish. Meantime, thank you very much for playing great contestants. David and Krish. Film adaptations and their original authors. Oh, Janice. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. Film adaptations and their original authors. In this round, we're about to show you a list of films. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to tell us who wrote the books on which they are based. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to give you the name of 6 films in each pass. Obviously, the more obscure the film, the fewer points you'll score. And if you give us an incorrect answer, you'll score 100 points. See if you can get all 6 of them at home.
OK, thanks, Richard. The first 6 are... Alice in Wonderland, The Firm, A Clockwork Orange, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Trainspotting, To Kill a Mockingbird. Let me read those one more time. Alice in Wonderland, The Firm, A Clockwork Orange, The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Trainspotting, To Kill a Mockingbird. OK, Jamie, we are looking for the authors of the books of which these films are adaptations. Are you familiar with these being books before they were films?
I'm familiar with them being books, but haven't got an idea of many of the authors, sadly.
OK.
I will go for To Kill a Mockingbird, and I think it's Harper Lee.
Harper Lee. Lauren's giving nothing away. I can't gauge if she's pleased with that or not. Harper Lee is what you're saying. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Well done, Jamie. Very good answer, Jamie. Harper Lee scoring you 10 points. Richard.
Yep, wonderful answer, wonderful book. The book won a Pulitzer Prize in 1961, and the film starring Gregory Peck was 1962.
OK, thanks very much. Now, Karen J. We are looking for the authors of the books on which these films are based.
I think I'll go for The Firm, and I'm sure it's John Grisham.
There it is, second one down. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. John Grisham. It's right. $14, that scores you. Surprisingly low score.
Pretty low score, isn't it?
It's one of those books, isn't it, that you saw people reading everywhere at one stage.
But I think he's written so many since, hasn't he? They've all got those sort of the something titles, perhaps people forget. And it was 1991 it was written. The film was 1993.
OK, thanks, Richard. Now then, Karen T. Have you read any of these?
No.
Have you seen any of the films?
Yes, I have seen some of the films. I've seen Lord of the Rings, of course.
Yeah.
And I didn't see the new version of Alice in Wonderland. I don't think I've ever seen the other two, though. So I'm going to go for Alice in Wonderland and Lewis Carroll.
OK, Lewis Carroll, you are saying. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that Lewis Carroll wrote Alice in Wonderland. $29. That scores you, Karen. Lewis Carroll, Richard.
Yeah, the book was written in 1865, and they had to wait for cinema to be invented. There was a Disney animated version in 1951, then the 2010 Tim Burton version. Let's take a look through the rest of the boards. I'll test your knowledge. You're always very good at this sort of thing.
Yes.
Janice is an English teacher, of course. You are an English graduate, so you should do rather well.
Yes.
So, Lord of the Rings, written by...
J.R.R. Tolkien.
Correct, would have scored you a fairly hefty 45 points. Trainspotting...
Irvin Welsh.
Irvin Welsh, exactly right. That would have scored you 9 points. That was his first novel. And A Clockwork Orange is by...
Burgess, Anthony Burgess.
Anthony Burgess, exactly right. That's the best answer on the board, just 3 points. So well done if you said Anthony Burgess.
OK, we're halfway through the round, so let's take a look at the scores. Well, they're pretty low scores. 29, normally, Karen T. That's normally a pretty good score. However, you are way out in front. So, Anthony, you have a job to do in the second pass.
Again.
Karen J and Janice on 14, Lauren and Jamie on 10. Much of a muchness, really. Lovely low scores, but anything can happen in the next pass. So, Janice, we're looking for a little bit of chalky magic from you. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 6 more films on the board, and here they are. We have got Bridget Jones's Diary, The Da Vinci Code, Atonement, The Beach, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, About a Boy. Let me read those one more time. Bridget Jones's Diary, The Da Vinci Code, Atonement, The Beach, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, About a Boy. And remember, we are looking for the authors of the books of which these are the film adaptations. Anthony, have you seen any of these films?
I have seen 3 of them, I think, or 4 of them.
OK, well, you are on 29. You are the high scorers.
Yeah.
You have to score as low as you possibly can here, otherwise we'll be saying goodbye to you at the end of this round.
So that's the problem, because we're in front, I feel like I should take a risk, and so I'm going to have to take a risk with About a Boy, because I think it's sitting on the bookshelf at home that we have, but I couldn't tell you for definite. And it's going to be a very big risk now. Because I know when I say it, my mum's going to say it's wrong, probably.
She's preparing herself for it.
So I'm going to go with Ian Rankin is wrong.
Well, no, you've done exactly the right thing, Anthony. Exactly the right thing. You've taken a risk. You are saying that About a Boy is written by Ian Rankin. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said it. Bad luck. Oh, I'm afraid that answer is Rankin up with your exit from last time. Unfortunately, that is a wrong answer, so you score the maximum of 100 points, which takes your total up to 129, Richard.
Yeah, tough luck, Anthony, but you did have to take a risk if the other ones you knew were high-scoring. I won't say who it is by, just in case Janice or Lauren want to have a go at that.
OK, yes, as I say, that takes your score up to 129, which I'm afraid is an unbeatably high score. So you will, I'm sorry to say, be leaving at the end of this round. Right, Janice, you are on 14 after Karen's answer of The Firm. What are you going to say from that board?
Looking at them, there's one of them that I'd like to go for, and I only know the second name, so I've got to go with one I know the whole name, so it's going to be one of the popular ones. I go for the Da Vinci Code and Dan Brown.
OK, a little-known book. The Da Vinci Code and Dan Brown. You're hoping to score as few points as possible. It doesn't really matter. Even if you score 100, you're still through to the head-to-head. Let's see if it's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said the Da Vinci Code was by Dan Brown. Wow. Well, that's right. It scores you 37, taking your total up to 51. That's a very low score for the...
Surprisingly low, isn't it? It's the publishing sensation of the century, probably, isn't it, the Da Vinci Code?
Yeah.
It was released in 2003.
Maybe the publishing phenomenon.
It was a phenomenon that a fairly unknown writer suddenly had the world's best-selling book.
Yeah.
And then continued to release best-selling books after it.
Very good. Now, Lauren. Now then, Lauren, you're on 10. It doesn't matter what you say. You can score 100 points if you like. You'll still be through to the head-to-head. We are looking for the authors of the books that were adapted into these films.
Well, I've seen all the films, but and I've even read some of the books, but my mind has gone completely blank. So I have to go with a safe answer again and go with J.K. Rowling.
You have to select the film first.
Oh, sorry, it's Harry Potter.
I see. Yes, I thought it might be. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, J.K. Rowling. Well, let's see how many people said that. $49, that scores you. That takes your total up to 59.
Yeah, it's the second book in the Harry Potter series and the second film in the Harry Potter series, directed by Chris Columbus. Let's clear up About a Boy first. Do you want to visualise that bookshelf? Is there any other names?
I can even see the colour of the book, but I couldn't tell you wrote it.
OK, it's Nick Hornby. Is the writer of the book. Would have scored you 4 points as well. Would have seen you safely through. Alexander, Bridget Jones' Diary.
Helen Fielding.
Helen Fielding, absolutely right. Would have scored a surprisingly low 10 points though. Atonement.
Ian McEwan.
Ian McEwan, another very low score, actually 5. And The Beach, which is the lowest score of all. Well done if you got this at home.
Alex Garland.
Alex Garland is exactly right. Would have scored you 2 points.
Very good. OK, thanks, Richard. So at the end of round 2, the losing pair with the highest score is Karen and Anthony. Normally, actually, people surprise themselves with how much they know.
Not me. I've surprised myself a little, I know.
Are you going to take the blame, Anthony?
I've got to, haven't I?
Well, I don't know. I think your mother looks incredibly forgiving.
I don't know if About a Boy is actually on the bookcase.
Nick Hornby is, but not About a Boy.
Oh, well, you can go home. And listen, I'll tell you what, Anthony, you can read it.
If it's there.
If it's there. It's a very good book. You'll enjoy it. Anyway, I'm very sorry. Once again, we say goodbye to you before the end of the show. We haven't, I'm afraid, seen you at your best, but you have been fantastic contestants. Thanks very much for playing. Thank you. Novels in their original languages. Novels in their original languages, Richard.
On each pass, we're going to show you the names of 7 famous novels, but we're going to give you their titles in the language in which they were written. So we know them by the English title, obviously. We're going to give you their titles in the language they were originally written. You just need to tell us those English titles, please. There's going to be 7 on each pass, some of them quite difficult to pronounce, so you can look forward to that. 14 in all to have a go at home. Very best of luck to you, very best of luck to you. Very best of luck to you.
Thank you very much indeed. OK, so we're looking for the English titles by which these foreign novels are known. And here's our first board of 7. We have got Die unendliche Gesichter, Michael Ende, La Casa de los Espíritus, Isabel Allende, Les Trois Mousquetaires, Alexandre Dumas. Die Blechtrommel, Günter Grass. Pippi Longstrump, Astrid Lindgren. Nesnesetelna, Lukas Bitti, Milan Kundera. And Der Prozess, Franz Kafka.
Very good. This is my favourite bit of the show, so you have to read them again now, don't you?
OK, this is going to be it's going to be marginally better. Die Undeche Geschichte, Michael Ender. La Casa de los Espíritus, Isabel Allende. Les Trois Mousquetaires, Alexandre Dumas. Der Blechtrommel, Günter Grass. Pippi Longstrump, Astrid Lindgren. Nesnesetelna, Lukas Bitti, Milan Kundera. And Der Prozess, Franz Kafka. There we are. Chris, welcome to Pointless. Chris, what do you do?
I'm both a tennis referee and a tennis coach.
Which do you prefer?
It depends who I'm coaching or which people I'm refereeing at the tournament.
Of course, that's the answer. So what sort of... Do you tournaments all over the country?
Yeah, I travel around a lot of the country. Most of the tournaments I work at don't have umpires, so I walk around and keep good order.
Keep good order. I'm glad to hear it, Chris. Lord knows someone has to. So obviously hoping tennis comes up today.
That would be nice, especially.
Yeah. Now, Chris, these novels in foreign languages.
I'm very glad that we're going first, because there's only one I know the answer to. I go for the third one down. I'm hoping is the Three Musketeers.
Let's find out. Three Musketeers, is that right? How many people said it, if it is? It's right. 60. Quite a high score, but it has the great bonus of being correct.
Yeah, I'm quite a high score in the context of the game, but quite a low score in terms of... You would think that was quite an obvious answer, wouldn't you?
You would.
Trois Mousquetaires.
Yeah. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Maria, welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, Maria, remind us what you do.
I am formerly a WRVS Meals on Wheels service manager, but I got made redundant in March, so I'm in between jobs now.
What are you wanting to do?
Anything, really.
Oh, I tell you what, you got to dream big in this world.
Well, yeah.
I'm still dreaming about it, probably why.
OK, well, keep dreaming. And meanwhile, give us an answer here.
OK, I think I know one other. Pippi Longstocking, I think, the third one up.
OK, Pippi Longstrump. You're going to say Pippi Longstocking. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said Pippi Longstocking. It's right. 37. Very well done.
It's written in Swedish, of course, Pippi Longstocking.
Thank you. Now, Kat, welcome.
Hello.
Kat, from Boreham Wood.
I am from Boreham Wood.
Kat, what do you do?
I'm a children's nurse.
Is that fun?
Paediatric staff nurse. It is, yes. At the minute, I'm working in a neonatal unit, so newborn babies and
That's
premature
nice.
babies. Yeah.
Very good. And what do you get up to in your spare time? I hope you get a bit of spare time.
A little bit. Obviously, other than watching Pointless, I'm a huge Arsenal fan. So try and go to Arsenal whenever I can.
Good stuff. Now, novels, foreign languages.
The only two I knew have gone, I'm afraid.
Yeah, we're into fun territory here, aren't we?
So it's going to have to be a yes. I'm going to go for La Casa de los Espíritus as the House of the Spirits.
The House of the Spirits. That comedy book, The House of the Spirits.
Yeah.
OK, let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said The House of the Spirits. Absolutely right, The House of the Spirits. Well, 37's our low score. You pass that. 7. Good work, Kat. It's not that hard, is it? You see?
It's only some translating. Imagine if you worked at the UN. Never get any work done. Yeah, Isabel Allende novel. Have you read it?
No.
I've not read it.
No.
I don't think it is a comic book.
I'm guessing not. Thanks very much indeed. Now, Lee. Lee, welcome back. Now, last time head-to-head.
Yeah.
Oh, we wrongly identified a footballer. That was what it was. Anyway, listen, we'll put all that behind us. But you did very well, head-to-head. What do you make of this board? You are the last person to have it.
Been dreading it all the way through. There's two up there that I think I can still take a punt at. So possibly the top one. I think I know, but I'm going to go with the bottom one and hope that's The Godfather.
OK, you're going to go for The Godfather. Let's see for Der Prozess. Let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said The Godfather. Oh, I'm sorry, Lee. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer. Scores you the maximum of 100 points. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Lee. Kafka didn't write The Godfather, but he did write The Trial. Der Prozess, and that would have scored you 7 points. Now, what would you have gone for the top one?
The English Patient.
Not The English Patient. That was written in English. This is The Never-Ending Story. 10 points for that. Der Blechtrommel. Do you know that Günter Grass novel? The Tin Drum.
Ah, right.
That would have scored you 6. And Milan Kundera, this is Czech. So you either have to know the novel or not.
We mean Nesna Satelna Lucas Bitty?
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess The Unbearable Lightness of Being.
You are absolutely correct, yeah. That would have scored you 5 points.
That's not my knowledge of Czech.
No, I'm aware of that. That's your knowledge
of
Milan Kundera.
Thanks very much. We're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores as they stand. 7, the best score of that pass, Kat. You and your languages, Kat. Very well done indeed. That's put you and Amy right at the top of the tree. Then we go up to 37, where we find Maria and Matt. Up to 60, where we find Chris and Gary. Then up to 100, I'm afraid. Lee and Katie are head-to-head as last time. So, Katie, you'll get first bite at the next board. So make sure you find a nice, low-scoring one there. And maybe that'll keep you in the game. Best of luck. We're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please step up to the podium? OK, we're going to put 7 more novels up on the board, and here they are. O Alchimista, Paulo Coelho. Bracia Karamazovi, Fyodor Dostoevsky. Wojna i Mir, Leo Tolstoy, Der Tod in Venedig, Thomas Mann, Notre Dame de Paris, Victor Hugo, Il nome della rosa, Umberto Eco, and La sombra del viento, Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I'll read those all one last time. O Alchimista, Paulo Coelho, Bracia Karamazovi, Fyodor Dostoevsky, Wojna i Mir, Leo Tolstoy, Der Tod in Venedig, Thomas Mann, Notre Dame de Paris, Victor Hugo, Il nome della rosa, Umberto Eco, and La sombra del viento, Carlos Ruiz Zafón. Now, there we are. Remember, we're looking for the English titles by which these foreign language novels are most commonly known. Katie, welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, remind us what you do, Katie.
I'm a social worker for a local council.
That's right. And how did you and Lee get to know each other? How did you meet?
We met, a friend introduced us, and we've been together ever since.
How long have you been married?
We've been married since 2010.
Wonderful. Well, you did very, very well last time. That's a very tricky board.
I have absolutely no idea about any of them. I'm just going to have a guess and say the third one up is, say, Notre Dame in Paris.
Notre Dame in Paris, says Katie. Notre Dame in Paris. Let's see if that's right. No red line for you as you're the high scorers, but let's see how many people said Notre Dame in Paris. Oh, I'm sorry, Katie. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer. Scores you the maximum of 100 points. Takes your total up to 200.
Sorry, Katie. Even for us, that might be too simple. Yeah, that's not what the novel's known as in English. Sorry.
Thanks very much. Now then, Amy.
Hello, hi.
Welcome to the show. What do you do, Amy?
I'm a paediatric nurse as well. We met when Kat was working in the same ward as I still work at just down the road in Stanmore, and Kat's moved on.
What do you like getting up to in Stanmore, Amy?
Actually, Stanmore, I'm quite an avid viewer of rugby. I quite enjoy reading crime fiction, and I'm quite interested. I really enjoy 70s and 80s music, been to a few concerts over the years, and I still enjoy doing that when I get a chance.
Excellent. Well, listen, I have great news for you. You are through to the next round. Doesn't matter what you score. Phew. But, I think you might have a good answer up there.
Yes, I think I'm going to go the second one up, and The Name of the Rose.
The Name of the Rose, Umberto Eco. No red line, as you're already through, but let's see how many people said The Name of the Rose. It's right. 26, very well done. 33, your total, the lowest total of the round.
Well played, Amy. Very good answer, yeah. If you like crime and murder mystery, it's a belter.
Thanks very much indeed. Now, Matt, remind us what you do, Matt.
I'm a team leader at a bowling alley.
And what are your hobbies outside of the alley?
I really like rock music, so I go to quite a few gigs, and I love to travel. Been quite a way around Europe and further abroad.
OK, when you're abroad, do you ever read novels in their original languages?
Unfortunately not, no. I don't know any of them by the book, so I'm just going to have a punt. I'm going to go for the top one and say The Alchemist.
The Alchemist? The Alchemist. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many people said it. It is right. 47 is your total. Very well done.
Yeah, one of the best-selling books in the world, The Alchemist, written in Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese.
Thanks very much indeed. Now, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Welcome. Gary, what do you do?
Well, I mostly help with the care of my mother, but I'm a colour scientist in decorative coatings industry.
A colour scientist? That's fun. What, so in paint, did you say? That sort of...
Yeah, I literally watch paint dry for a living.
Good stuff. OK. Gary, what do you do in your spare time? What are your hobbies?
Well, I know Chris because we're both members of the Association of British Tennis Officials, so I stand like that.
You stand like that and go, oh! Yeah. Anyway, listen, the good news, you're through, Gary. You're through.
That's great news. Thank you.
That board is all yours.
Well, obviously, I knew the two that had gone, but working down the brothers Karamazov, then I would guess at War and Peace from Tolstoy, The Toad in Venice, but that's not right. The Hunchback of Notre Dame is the Victor Hugo book. I'll go for the brothers Karamazov.
The brothers Karamazov, says Gary. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said it. No red line, you're already through. It's right. Good answer, 14, very well done. 74, your total.
Yeah, well played, Gary. Very good answer. You took us through the board quite nicely as well. You're absolutely right about War and Peace, for Emir, Tolstoy. Would have scored you 19 points. It isn't The Toad in Venice, which is Beatrix Potter. This is...
Death
in Venice. Yeah, very different book. 13 points. The Hunchback of Notre Dame is absolutely right. Bigger score, though, 51 for that. And the last one, do you know that book? It was a big hit.
Shadow of the Wind.
It was The Shadow of the Wind. Yeah, it would have scored you 4 points.
Thanks very much indeed, Richard. So, at the end of our first round, I'm sorry to say the pair, they were our head-to-headers last time. And I'm afraid they're leaving at the end of the first round this time. Katie and Lee, I'm sorry we have to say goodbye to you so soon, but it's been great having you on the show. Both shows. Thanks very much for playing.
Thank you.
Novels without their title characters. Richard.
On each board, we're going to show you the titles of 7 novels, but we've missed out the name of the title character from those novels. Can you tell us who it is, please? Sometimes it'll be one word, sometimes it'll be 2.
The Great Blank, F. Scott Fitzgerald, 1925. Blank's Ark, Thomas Keneally, 1982. The Picture of Blank, Oscar Wilde, 1891. My Cousin Blank, Daphne du Maurier, 1951. Blank and the Goblet of Fire, J.K. Rowling, 2000. Blank the Greek, Nikos Kazantzakis, 1946. And Life of Blank, Jan Martel, 2001. I'll read those titles again. The Great Blank, Blank's Ark, The Picture of Blank, My Cousin Blank, Blank and the Goblet of Fire, Blank the Greek, and Life of Blank. There we are. Emma, welcome back.
Hi.
Remind us all about yourself, Emma.
I am a landlord support worker for a homeless charity based in Cardiff. I've got 2 little staffies, a 19-year-old daughter, and I like gigging and concerts.
And weightlifting, we discovered
weightlifting,
last
yes,
time.
yeah.
Do you do competitive weightlifting?
No, not so much, no.
No.
Started off as fitness, but that turned into my favourite thing, so that's what I stuck to.
Do you have to wear a big belt to do weightlifting? Oh,
no, not
phew.
yet, not yet.
Not yet?
No. I think I'm too old now.
Oh,
yeah,
too old for the
keep
big
it light
belt.
and a lot of them.
OK, light and a lot of them.
Yeah.
Very good. OK, now, Emma, you're on 80.
Okay.
At this stage, 18 or less would be good enough to get you through.
Mm-hmm.
Each of these novel titles is missing the name of its lead character. Can you supply the missing name? What are you thinking?
I'm going to go for probably the most obvious one that I think, which is Noah's Ark.
OK, Noah's Ark, says Emma. That's the Keneally one.
Yeah.
Here is your red line. If you can get below that with Noah's Ark. you are through to the next round. Let's see what happens when we say Noah's Ark. No, I'm afraid not, Emma. That is an incorrect answer. Scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 180.
Yeah, sorry, Emma. Jeremy will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was written by God. Yeah.
Or Moses.
Did he say Moses, was it? I knew it was one of the two.
Thank you very much indeed. Simon, welcome back. Remind us all about yourself.
OK, I'm an opera singer, also a singing teacher, a conductor and a composer.
What do you do to get away from music, or do you never want to get away from it?
Well, I love to travel. We both enjoy travelling around the world, and we both love food, so we cook a great deal.
And food and travel, surely, there's a thing you can combine. If you had to go anywhere, where's your favourite place for food and travel?
Well, we're going to Spain this summer, and Spain for food is a really good place to go.
That's fun. OK, now, you're on 27, which means it doesn't matter what you score, you're through whatever. But I reckon you might have a good answer. What would you like to go for?
I'm going to take a tiny bit of a risk because I'm not 100% sure this is right, but I think the one in the middle is My Cousin Rachel.
My Cousin Rachel, says Simon. No red line for you for the lovely reason you're already through. Let's see how many of our 100 people said My Cousin Rachel. It's right. Down it goes to 15. Very well done indeed. Taking your total up to 42.
Lovely answer, Simon. Safely through. In answer to your question, how many people said Vinny for that? It was 11. Tempting, though, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it just? Thank you very much indeed. Now, Finley, welcome to Pointless. Tell us all about yourself.
So I work in communications as well, so following in the footsteps of mother here. For a city PR firm, in my spare time, play a lot of tennis, five-side football, that sort of stuff.
Very good. Now, Finley, you are on 47. Doesn't matter what you score, you're through.
Good.
So what are the names of the characters that are missing from these book titles? What are you going to go for?
There's two on there I think I know, and I think the lower of those is going to be The Picture of Dorian Gray, Oscar Wilde. OK, The Picture of Dorian Gray, says Finley. No red line for you. Again, for the lovely reason you are already through. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Dorian Gray. It's right. Down it goes to 42. Takes your total up to 89.
Oscar Wilde's only novel. So if any quiz question in any pub in Britain starts which Oscar Wilde novel, the answer is always The Picture of Dorian Gray. Little tip there.
And that question never ages.
There you go.
Never ages. There we are. Thank you very much indeed. Now, Luke, welcome to Pointless. Good to have you here. Tell us all about yourself.
So I work for a council in East London. I work in strategy and policy, so that's trying to interpret what's happening nationally and kind of work out what's going to happen at a local level. And outside work, I sit as a magistrate in the adult and youth criminal courts.
Goodness me, that's a packed and very public-spirited life you lead. In terms of working out what's happening nationally and trying to think what's going to happen locally, how often do you get it right? Most of the time?
I would, of course, say that my employer gets it right most.
That's exactly the answer I was hoping you'd say, yes. All, you nearly said most of the time, but then you changed it to all of the time,
safer,
which is correct. Good. So there you are on 99. If you can score 80 or less, you're through to the next round. You just have to find a correct answer, I'd guess. What are you going to go for? Do you want to talk us through that board?
I was hoping you weren't going to ask me to do that because literature's probably one of my worst subjects. So talking it through is very difficult. Obviously, there's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, but I'm not going to go for that one. I think the bottom one is Life of Pi, but I'm not sure.
Is that what you're going to go for?
I'm going to go for Life of Pi.
Life of Pi, it says, Luke, here is your red line. Can you get below that with Life of Pi? Let's find out. It's right. And you're through. Well done. Down it goes to 51. Not bad. Takes your total up to 150.
Well done, Luke. Life of Pi. Do you know what? Harry Potter would have seen you safely through as well. It's a surprisingly low score, 72 for Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. It's weird, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Now, the great...
Oh, Gatsby.
Gatsby. Yeah, Gatsby would have scored you 65. Now, it's not Noah's Ark. This is the book that Schindler's List is taken from. Schindler's Ark. Absolutely would have scored you 4. And the Greek?
Zorba,
the Greek. And that would have scored you 32. So Schindler is the best answer on that board. Well done if you said that at home.
Thank you very much indeed. So we're at the end of our first round and we have to say goodbye to one of our pairs. Louise and Emma, I'm afraid it's you. This is goodbye for good, I'm afraid.
Yes.
It's been wonderful having you on the show. I'm sorry we haven't got to see more of you, but thank you so much for playing. Emma and Louise, brilliant. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many novels by Jane Austen and the Bronte sisters as they could. Richard, explain a bit more.
Yeah, essentially any complete novel by either Jane Austen or Charlotte, Anne or Emily Bronte. Only 13 novels on that list.
13,
Unlucky,
OK.
unlucky, I think, for a couple of the contestants looking at their faces.
Remember, you need to score the fewest points, so you need to give me the answer that the fewest of our 100 people said. All right. Ant.
This is not a good subject, so I'm just going to go with one that I know. So I'm going to go for Mansfield Park.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Mansfield Park. It's the right answer. Not bad. Down it goes. Look at that. 7. That means only 7 of our 100 people said Mansfield Park. A very good low score. Nicola.
Again, not a great subject, but I think I'm going for my middle name, which is Emma.
Let's see how many of our 100 people said Emma. Down it goes, 16. That means 16 of our 100 people said Emma. That gives you a score of 16. On to our final pair. We are looking for novels by Jane Austen and the Bronte sisters. Malcolm, what's it going to be?
Only know one. Pride and Prejudice.
OK. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Pride and Prejudice. It's the right answer. Well, that means 34 of our 100 people said Pride and Prejudice. We are halfway through the round. Let's see how we're doing on the scoreboard. Well, the team with the lowest score is Philip and Ant again. You keep up that low scoring, Philip and Ant, and you're definitely through to the next round. Malcolm and Mike, looking a little bit vulnerable there on 34. You've just got to try and score as low as you can on the next pass and hope everyone else scores high. OK, we're going to come back down the line. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, Mike, we are looking for novels by Jane Austen and the Bronte sisters. You are the current high scorers on 34. You've got to score as low as you possibly can with this.
The only one I can think of is Sense and Sensibility.
OK. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Sense and Sensibility. This has got to be a low score for you. That takes your score up to 50. OK, Robert and Nicola. Robert, you are currently on 16. The high scorers at the moment are Mike and Malcolm on 50. To be absolutely safe, you have to score 33 or less. Otherwise, you will become the high scorers and could be eliminated.
So no pressure then?
Absolutely none.
I'm hoping the Bronte sisters wrote Wuthering Heights, because if they didn't, I'm kind of stuffed.
Of course, if it is an incorrect answer, you will score the maximum of 100 points. There is the red line. Below that red line, you are definitely in the next round. Above that red line, things are looking a little bit shaky. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Wuthering Heights. Well, it's good. Oh, ho, ho. 42. That means 42 of our 100 people said Wuthering Heights. That brings your total up to 58. You are now our high scorers. That means Malcolm and Mike are definitely through to the next round. Phew. OK, on to our final pair. Philip and Ant. Philip, your turn. To be safe, you have to score 50 or less. Philip, what's it going to be?
I'm hoping Northanger Abbey is one of theirs. Give that a go.
OK, Northanger Abbey. There is our red line. You have to come below that red line to stay in the game. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Northanger Abbey. It's good. You're through. Well done. Good and low. That means 9 of our 100 people said North Hammurabi. That brings your total up to an impressively low 16. So at the end of round 3, the losing pair with the highest score are Nicola and Robert. Bad luck. Why was Wuthering Heights scoring so high? Sense and Sensibility? Pride and Prejudice? Yeah. Richard, any answers they should have given?
I was going to say that was, apart from Wuthering Heights, that was all Jane Austen novels, wasn't it? I think we had 5.
Yeah, we had no other Bronte.
The only Jane Austen novel we missed was Persuasion, which would have scored you 6 points, was the lowest scoring Jane Austen novel. But the lowest 3 of all, there was one pointless, Charlotte Bronte's Villette, which is the only novel she published under her own name. And then 2 Anne Bronte novels, Agnes Grey and The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. If we look at the worst answers you could have given, the 3rd worst answer was...
Jane Eyre.
Jane Eyre, exactly right. And we've already had the top 2. Malcolm gave us Pride and Prejudice. And Robert, of course, gave us Wuthering Heights, Emily Bronte's only finished novel.
Very good. Well, thanks, Richard. OK, Nicola and Robert, you've wasted one of your chances to get through to the pointless final. We have to say goodbye for today, but we'll see you next time for your last chance. Thank you so much for playing. You've been great. Books that were initially rejected by publishers. Richard.
We are going to show you the titles of 7 books on the first board, 7 on the second board of, well, essentially titles that were rejected by publishers. We'll show you the initials of the author and the year in which they were eventually published. But who are the authors, please?
We have got Animal Farm, G.O., 1945. Watership Down, R.A., 1972. Carrie, S.K., 1974. The Wind in the Willows, K.G., 1908. Anne of Green Gables, L.M.M., 1908. The Fountainhead, A.R., 1943, and Life of Pi, Y.M., 2001. I'll read those again for you. Animal Farm, G.O., 1945. Watership Down, R.A., 1972. Carrie, S.K., 1974. The Wind in the Willows, K.G., 1908. Anne of Green Gables, L.M.M., 1908. The Fountainhead, A.R., 1943, and Life of Pi, Y.M., 2001. There we are. Barney, welcome to Pointless. Tell us all about yourself, Barney.
OK, so I do marketing and event planning for a small record shop in Brighton.
That's quite fun, and a small sort of independent vinyl shop.
Yeah.
Very nice indeed. And what other sort of things do you get up to, Barney? What other?
So music's a big part of my life. I play in a band. Yeah.
What's the band you're in?
I play in a band called Lower Slaughter. Yeah.
Metal band?
Sort of punk. Heavy sort of stuff, yeah.
My brother and sister-in-law live just outside Lower Slaughter, so that's quite interesting. You have no connection, I'm guessing, to the village of Lower Slaughter. It's
no,
more the,
it's not really like that at all. We did visit there once, and
we were quickly ushered out of the village.
Yeah, well, we said, oh, we've got a band named after us, and they're like, great.
Yeah, good. OK, now then, Barney, brilliant performance from Linz in the first pass means that you're looking pretty good at the moment. What are you going to go for?
OK, there's one that I definitely know and one which I'm sort of half sure on, but I'm going to go with Carrie and say Stephen King.
OK, Stephen King, says Barney. Here is your red line. If you can get below that red line, you're off to a flying start. Let's see how many of our 100 said Stephen King. It's right. Through you go. Down it goes to 56, taking your total up to 85. Very well done.
Yeah, imagine turning down Stephen King, though, in his career. I mean, funny enough, he almost turned down Stephen King. It's because his first sort of draft of that he threw in the bin. He said, this is not for me. And his wife took it out of the bin and she said, just give it one more go.
Ah.
Amazing, isn't it?
That's nice. Very good. Lisa.
Hello.
Welcome to Pointless. Tell us all about yourself.
I work in adult social care. I support carers of young people with young adults with learning disabilities.
OK, Lisa, and what do you do for fun?
Well, I love theatre and I love cooking, so I kind of try and mix the two up, going out for dinner before a show, and I love musicals.
Hang on, you don't... That doesn't involve cooking. You mean you love other people's cooking?
No.
I'm
I'm a bit of an... I'm known as a bit of a chef, yes,
OK.
and I do take dishes round to friends
Oh,
and
I see what you mean. So you got... I see, right,
Yes,
right.
yeah.
I see, got you. Now, listen, you're on 100. You're on 100. Now, look, there is Joe behind you. There he is, yes. That's what you're up against. We need a nice low score from you here, Lisa. What are you going to go for?
Oh, well, Barney definitely took my best answer, I think, so I'm going to go with Animal Farm and George Orwell.
OK, George Orwell says Lisa. Let's see how many of our 100 people said George Orwell. No red line views. You're currently joint high scorers. Is right. Now we go 64. 164. Joe has now got a tub.
Yeah, T.S. Eliot was one of the publishers who turned down Animal Farm. I think he also turned down Lord of the Flies, or certainly his company did.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now then, Joe. Welcome to Pointers. Tell us all about yourself.
I'm a geophysics graduate, and I played chook ball at university.
You played what?
Chook ball.
Chook ball?
Yeah.
How do you play that?
So you can score at both ends. You've just got to throw a ball at a frame and let it bounce outside this area.
What size ball? Like a sort of
like a handball.
basketball? A handball?
Yeah.
What you've got to throw it at a frame?
Yeah.
How big's the frame?
Sort of.
OK.
Sort of that big, yeah.
So big as a telly size.
What does the chook refer to?
It's the noise that it's meant to make when you hit the frame.
OK. This all checks out.
Yes, good. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Chook.
Chook ball.
Chook ball. OK, now, Joe, thank you for that. Chook ball. We should play that in the breaks.
Oh, I'd love to do that.
Oh, it'd be fun. You'd be good at that.
I'll get the stuff out of the chook box.
Yeah. Very good. Now, Joe, you have to score 63 or less. That's what we're looking at from you.
See, I only knew George Orwell, so it's going to have to guess. I think I'd go for the Fountainhead and go for Arthur Rowland.
OK, Arthur Rowland, or Arthur Rowland, as we sometimes pronounce it. There is your red line. Let's see what happens when we see Arthur Rowland. No, I'm afraid not Arthur Rowland. That scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 200. See, Steve and Jack through to round 2, I might add. Yes.
Yeah, newest members of the 200. You are no longer the newest members of the 200 club as well, Steve and Jack. That's gone perfectly for you, hasn't it? Absolutely beautiful. I'll give all the correct answers at the end of the pass.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Steve, welcome back.
Thank you.
And remind us all about yourself, Steve.
Married to Shell, 25 years, and I run a business moving pianos.
Moving pianos, which we discussed in some detail last time, is a very, very... I mean, it's a precision job, moving pianos.
It is, yeah.
It's not a coincidence that quite so many comedy routines feature pianos being moved.
Being lugged around on the back of the stage.
Yeah, I mean, when people start working for you, are they ever tempted to start singing comedy music while you're busy shifting uprights up and down stairs?
I wouldn't say music, but I get a lot of references to, obviously, Laurel and Hardy, and, you know, the piano's on my foot now, but if you play it, I'll hum it. That's the two I usually get.
Do you have that thing where two of you are lugging a piano and a third person comes up and starts playing it, it's going along? It's quite fun.
Not yet, but I'll, yeah.
There's one to keep up your sleeve, Steve. You're through to the next round. Doesn't matter what you score here. Do you fancy talking us through this board?
I'd love to, but the ones that I know are gone. I feel like I should know, but I don't know. I'm going to have to go with The Wind in the Willows and Kenneth Gammon.
You're really not that far off it, actually, there. But Kenneth...
Gammon.
OK, it's the Gammon family again. OK. Right, no red line viewers, you're already through. Let's see how far down the column we get with Kenneth Gammon. No, I'm afraid not. There we go. Scores you 100 points, 175 your total, but you're through.
Yeah, although you are actually now the newest member of the 200 club all by yourself, Steve, so that's very good. Yeah, not far away from Kenneth...
Kenneth Graham.
Kenneth Graham, yeah. And Kenneth Graham would have scored you 38 points. Watership Down.
Is it Richard Adams?
It is Richard Adams. 25. He's the perfect example of someone who just told a story to his child and the child told him to write it down. He had no idea he could write. He was in his 50s and had this huge hit. Anne of Green Gables?
I don't know.
L.M. Montgomery.
Good.
Scored you 5 points. The Fountainhead?
Oh.
It's an American author. Ayn Rand.
Ayn Rand.
Yeah. Scored you 3. And Life of Pi?
Jan Martel.
Jan Martel, turned down by 5 publishers, then won the Booker Prize. 14 points for that.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. OK, well, we are at the end of our first round. We have to say goodbye to one of our pairs. And I'm afraid, Joe and Jason, you are that pair with a high score of 200. We will see you again next time. And we won't have literature, so I'm sure you'll do really well. Anyway, in the meantime, thanks very much, Joe and Jason. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many authors of the 100 greatest British novels as they could. Authors of the 100 greatest British novels. Richard.
Yes, in 2015, BBC Culture asked critics from outside the UK to name their favourite ever British novels, and they compiled a list of the 100 greatest British novels of all time. We're looking for the author of any of those classic British novels, please. So any of the authors who are on that list. It's all novels rather than anything else.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, Cass.
I might go for Raymond E. Feist.
Raymond E. Feist, says Cass. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Raymond E. Feist. Bad luck. Not on that top 100 list, I'm afraid, Cass, which means it's incorrect and it scores you 100 points.
Yeah, sorry, Cass, he's American, Raymond E. Feist, and the sort of works in the fantasy genre, which is possibly would not have made it on the list even if he were British, I suspect.
Helen.
This is hard, isn't it? Because I don't know whether to
It
kind
is
of go
hard.
for a risky one and not.
But don't go for an American fantasy novelist.
Okay, I'll try. I don't know any of those, so that's fairly safe. I think I'm gonna try and be a little bit clever, maybe. I'm gonna go for Charlotte Bronte.
Charlotte Bronte, says Helen. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Charlotte Bronte. There. It's a correct answer, Helen. It's a good answer, too. 16. Very well done. 16 for Charlotte Bronte.
Good answer. 2 novels on that list, Villette and Jane Eyre, of course.
Thanks very much. Well, we're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at those scores as they stand. 16 puts Helen and Andy right at the top of the table there. Well done. And then Hubert and Sharon and Cass and Mark tied on 100 there. We're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please step up to the podium? OK, so Andy, remember, we're looking for any author whose novel appears on the 100 greatest British novels list.
Again, I think I'm going to go fairly safe. J.R.R. Tolkien.
J.R.R. Tolkien, that says, Andy, here is your red line. If you can score 83 or less, which looks like that, you go through to the head-to-head. How many of our 100 people said J.R.R. Tolkien? Is it right? It is right. Through you go. Another great answer. 14. Look at that. Very well done indeed. 30 is your total. You are in the head-to-head.
And that's The Lord of the Rings, is the novel he wrote that makes that list.
Thank you very much. Now, Sharon, what would you like to go for?
I'll go for C.S. Lewis.
C.S. Lewis, says Sharon. C.S. Lewis, no red line for you as your joint high scorers. But let's see how many of our 100 people said C.S. Lewis. Very good answer, Sharon. 6 for C.S. Lewis. Very well done. 106 is your total.
That's a terrific answer, isn't it? Yeah, The Chronicles of Narnia is on that list.
Thanks, Richard. And now Mark. Well, you have a target here, Mark.
Yeah.
We need 5 or less from you.
I don't think I'm going to do it. This is a terrible subject. I'll go for Terry Pratchett.
Terry Pratchett, says Mark. Here's your red line, Mark, quite low. But if you can get below that with Terry Pratchett, you are into the head-to-head. Let's see if it's right. Let's see how many people said Terry Pratchett. No, bad luck. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer. Scores you another 100 points, takes your total up to 200.
Yeah, sorry, Mark, not on that list. Lots of answers that would have seen you through. You'd have got 4 points for Lewis Carroll, for Anthony Trollope, Evelyn Waugh. You'd got 3 points for D.H. Lawrence, for Thackeray. Zadie Smith would have scored you 3. Salman Rushdie would have scored 3. 2 points for Doris Lessing. Kingsley Amis, Mary Shelley would have scored 2 points. Ian McEwan, Daniel Defoe would have scored 2. Anthony Burgess. So lots of good answers out there. Let's take a look at the pointless answers. Alan Hollinghurst, he was on the list twice with the Swimming Pool Library and The Line of Beauty. George Gissinger wrote New Grub Street as a pointless answer. Jonathan Swift, Gulliver's Travels, of course. Julian Barnes, Sense of an Ending. Kazuo Ishiguro, who wrote Never Let Me Go and Remains of the Day, both of those on the list. Tristram Shandy by Lawrence Stern is on that list. Monica Ali for Brick Lane. Muriel Spark, The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie. Sarah Waters for The Little Stranger. Lots of other pointless answers as well. You could have had A.S. Byatt, Kenneth Graham for The Wind and the Willows. P.G. Woodhouse. You could have had Stella Gibbons for Cold Comfort Farm. So loads of pointless answers there. The top 3 scorers, let's take a look at them. Charlotte Bronte, we already heard, on 16 points. Jane Austen has 4 books on that list, 29 points. And Dickens also has 4 on the list and would have scored 48.
Thanks very much, Richard. So at the end of our second round, the pair we've got to say goodbye to, I'm afraid, Mark and Cass. I mean, now you hear them all being read out, all those pointless answers. You could easily have said one of those, mightn't you?
Kenneth Williams.
Kenneth Graham.
Graham, that's the one. Mind blank, gone.
No, it happens. It does happen.
That's the first time someone's joined the 300 club after they've been knocked out.
It's been wonderful having you on the show. Thanks so much for playing. Mark and Cass, good luck with the wedding. Thanks so much. Mark and Cass. 19th century novels. 19th century novels, Richard.
Yeah, look at the whoops for joy from all of our contestants there. We're going to show you on each pass 7 characters who first appeared in 19th century novels. Can you tell us the name of the novel these characters first appeared in, please? Give us a nice obscure answer, you're going to score fewer points, but an incorrect answer, as always, is going to score you 100 points. There's 14 in all to have a go at home. Very well done if you get all 14 of these. It's going to be tough.
I'm actually quite nervous as well.
Well, you of course, have got an English degree.
Exactly, I should know this. When that thing turns around, I might go, ah.
Well, at the end of each pass, I will take you through every single one and see how well you do.
Yeah, that's what I'm scared about.
Yeah.
OK. We are looking for the 19th century novels in which these characters appeared. And here is our first board. We have got... Wow. We have got Lady Dedlock, Maggie Tulliver, Heathcliff, Elizabeth Bennet, Reverend Arthur Dimmesdale, Captain Ahab, Michael Henchard. I'll read those all one last time. Lady Dedlock, Maggie Tulliver, Heathcliff, Elizabeth Bennet, Reverend Arthur Dimmesdale, Captain Ahab, and Michael Henchard. There we go, Katie. Now then, where do you think you went wrong last time? We had to say goodbye to you in the first round.
We got sports and we're terrible at sport.
OK, now, literature. You on any safer ground in literature?
I should be. I should know Heathcliff, but it's just not coming to me at all. So I'm just going to go stab in the dark and go Captain Ahab, Treasure Island.
Captain Ahab, Treasure Island. OK, let's see if that's right. And if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Captain Ahab, Treasure Island. Bad luck. I'm afraid an incorrect answer, Katie. That scores you 100 points. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Katie, not in Treasure Island. It's a good, like a captain.
He's a captain.
Could conceivably be in Treasure Island. I'll give you the correct answer at the end of the pass.
Leah, welcome back.
Thank you.
Leah and Neil. Now is round 2 for you last time.
Yes, it was.
So, Leah, what do you like to get up to?
I like sports, so tennis, football, big football fan, that kind of thing.
Do you find much time for literature from the 19th century?
I did English literature at A-level, so I'd like to think I'm not too bad at it. Luckily, I know one of them, I think. Elizabeth Bennet, I believe, is Pride and Prejudice.
Elizabeth Bennet, Pride and Prejudice, says Leah. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Pride and Prejudice for Elizabeth Bennet. Absolutely right. 28. Very well done, Leah. 28 for Pride and Prejudice.
Well done, Leah. Safe and sound, yeah. Pride and Prejudice. Elizabeth Bennet, Mr. Darcy, of course, in that one of the most famous novels in the English language, I would say.
Probably is. Now, Barry, last time, remind us what happened.
Oh, we got to the head-to-head, and I'm afraid we lost on the day to the 2 students who were, I have to say, very entertaining in what they did.
Yeah, less entertaining for you. They whipped that prize out from under your nose, Barry, but... And you're a tourist guide in South London?
I know, all of London.
All of them?
All of London.
Come on then, Barry. What have you got?
Well, I'm going to also go for Captain Ahab and say Moby Dick.
Moby Dick, says Barry for Captain Ahab. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people knew that answer. Moby Dick. Absolutely right. 29. 29 for Moby Dick. Interestingly, 1 point more than Pride and Prejudice.
Maybe Elizabeth Bennet is a slightly more prosaic name, and Captain Ahab, if you've read it, you remember the name, don't you, is the truth. And he's such a memorable character. He loses his leg to Moby Dick and chases him down. Yet Herman Melville's Moby Dick, published in 1851.
Now then, Paul, what would you like to do?
I like to take time out with my dogs, Forrest and Loki. I've got 2 miniature poodles.
Forrest and Loki. Why Loki?
He's a god of chaos and mischief, which he is.
Excellent.
A bit like myself.
You're the god of chaos and mischief? Wow, that's nice to have you on the show. That's a good booking, isn't it?
Very good. Now then, Paul. So we are looking for the 19th century novels in which these characters appeared.
I'm feeling a lot better than I did 5 minutes ago because at least I know one of them. So I would be guessing at the rest. But I'm going to go for Heathcliff, Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering Heights, Heathcliff, says Paul. Let's see if it's right. Let's see how many people knew that answer. Wuthering Heights. $54. $54. Not bad at all, Paul.
Well played, Paul. Emily Bronte's only published novel, Wuthering Heights. But let's go through the rest of the answers. Let's see how well Xander's education was spent. Lady Deadlock?
I'm actually going to go for the famed Bleak House. I think it is Bleak House.
Correct.
Oh,
well done. That would have scored you 6 points. Maggie Tulliver?
Oh, I don't know.
Mill on the Floss.
Don't know.
The Mill on the Floss.
Mill on the Floss.
Another good answer would have scored 3 points. So another terrific one. Let's go to the bottom. Michael Henchard
is Mayor of Casterbridge.
He is the Mayor of Casterbridge, absolutely right. 5 points. And Reverend Arthur Dimmesdale is a pointless answer.
I just don't think I know.
Very well done at home if you said the Scarlet Letter. The Scarlet Letter. So some very low-scoring ones there. So anyone who got all 7's done terrifically well there.
OK, well, thanks very much indeed. We're halfway through the round. Let's take a look at the scores as they stand. Best score of the pass was Lear's. Very, very well done. 28, lovely low score. Up to 29, where we find Barry and Jackie. Up a little bit to 54, where Paul and Stephen currently reside. And then, I'm sorry to say, up to 100, where Katie and Jenna are to be found. Now, Jenna, you know what you have to do in the next pass?
Get an amazing answer.
An amazing answer. OK, we're going to come back down the line now. Can the second players please take their places at the podium? OK, we're going to put 7 more characters on the board from 19th century literature, and here they are. We have got Becky Sharp, Captain Nemo, Lucy Snow, Edward Casaubon, Artful Dodger, Quasimodo, and Bathsheba Everdeen. I'll read those all one last time. Becky Sharp, Captain Nemo, Lucy Snow, Edward Casaubon, Artful Dodger, Quasimodo, and Bathsheba Everdeen. Now, remember, we are looking for the 19th century novels in which these characters appeared, and you're obviously going to try and find the one you think the fewest of our 100 people knew. Stephen, tell me what you do up in Glasgow.
I'm a photographer.
What kind of photography do you do?
Mostly portrait, so a lot of bands, singers, glam stuff. It's good.
Very good indeed. You're on 54. The high scorers are Jenna and Katie on 100, which means 45 or less will see you through. What are you going to go for?
I think I'll go with Captain Nemo.
Captain
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Captain Nemo, says Stephen, 20,000 leagues under the sea. There is your red line. If you get below that red line, you are through to the next round. Let's see if that's right, and if it is, let's see how many people said 20,000 leagues under the sea. Absolutely right. And you're through to the next round. Very well done. 17, great score. That takes your total up to 71, Stephen. Very well done.
Well played, Stephen. Good teamwork there on the last podium as well. Yeah, Jules Verne's novel, published across 1869, 1870.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now, Jackie. Literature for you, is that strong?
Not strong, but I knew Captain Nemo, and I know a couple of others there.
Well, you are on 29, Jackie. The high scorers remain Jenna and Katie on 100. That means if you can score 70 or less, you're safely through.
Okie doke. I'm going to say Becky Sharp is Vanity Fair.
Becky Sharp, Vanity Fair, says Jackie. Let's see, is it right? How many people said it? Very well done. Down it goes. Still going down. 8. Best score so far, Jackie. Takes your total up to a lovely low 37. Very well done indeed. Vanity Fair.
Well done, Jackie. Terrific character in a terrific book by William Makepeace Thackeray. Published in book form in 1848.
Very good indeed. Thank you. Now then, Neil.
I'm hoping I know one or two of them. I did study English literature at A-level, but as Leah would say, that was a long time ago. and I got an E in that.
You got an E?
Don't. You sound like my mum.
What do you excel in these days, Neil?
Finance.
Yeah. Anything fun?
Darts.
Really? Do you play in a team?
Playing a league in the city. Had a check-out of 157 only last week.
Whoa, very good. You're big on your arrows, aren't you?
Yeah, that's a very handy checkout, though. I don't need to tell you that.
No. Oh, yeah.
And treble 20, treble 19 tops.
Exactly what I did.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Well done.
Very good.
Well done. Yeah.
Can we just keep talking about darts for a bit longer?
Yeah, no. Neil, the high scorers are still Jenna and Katie. It's all beginning to get a little bit tense at this end of the line. You're on 28. If you can score 71 or less, through you go.
OK, based on my film knowledge, not my novel knowledge, I'll go Artful Dodger and Oliver.
Artful Dodger and Oliver. OK, there is your red line. If you get below that red line with Oliver, you are through to the next round. Let's see if it's right. And if it is, let's see how many of our 100 people said Oliver. Bad luck, Neil. Bad luck. I'm afraid that's an incorrect answer, which means you score the maximum of 100 points. That takes your total up to 128. Means we've got a game on. Richard.
Yes, good dart score, though, 128.
Thanks.
We'll give the correct answer at the end of the round.
OK, now, we come to you, Jenna.
Yes.
What do you like to get up to, Jenna?
Anything adrenaline-based. I like bungee jumping and skydiving. I want to do a wing walk.
The wing walk.
Yes.
Take us through the wing walk. What?
Stand on a plane and it flies off.
Where does the walk bit happen?
Well, you don't really, actually. I don't know where that comes from. I'll take it up with them.
Very good. OK, now, Jenna, you're the last person to have this board. Would you like to talk us through it?
Well, the Artful Dodger, I think Oliver Twist, is it the Adventures of Oliver Twist? Something like that. But I think Quasimodo was the Hunchback of Notre Dame, so I think I'll go for that one. I don't know any of the others. I knew Captain Nemo, but that one was taken.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame for Quasimodo. OK, here is your red line. It could be higher, but let's see. You may get below it. Let's see. The Hunchback of Notre Dame, is that going to get you below that red line? Is it right? How many people said it? Oh, 53, I'm afraid. Takes your total up to 153, and I'm afraid that means you are the high scorers. Richard.
Yeah, sorry, Jenna. It's a valiant effort, but not enough, I'm afraid. Good news for Neil there. It's a lifeline. Neil, the problem was, as you say, you knew it from the film. It's not Oliver, it's Oliver Twist. It's the name of the actual novel. Would have scored you 70 points. It's a big scorer. So wouldn't have actually done you any good, Jenna, if you had said it. The other three answers all would have seen you through, but they're all tough, to be honest. Do you know any of those?
Bathsheba Everdeen.
Yep.
It's far from the madding crowd.
It is far from the madding crowd. Would have scored 4 points as well. It's a very good answer. How are you pronouncing this one?
Edward Casaubon is Middlemarch.
Middlemarch, absolutely right. Would have scored 1 point as well. And Lucy Snow is a pointless answer.
No, what I don't know.
She's from Villette.
Villette.
Villette, so very well done if you said that. Some tough answers up there, weren't there?
Yeah. There you go. Anyway, thank you very much indeed, Richard. What an exciting round that was. So at the end of the first round, the pair who will be leaving us with their high score of 153, old Jenna and Katie, I'm so sorry.
It's been fun.
Well, it's been lovely, but it's been too short.
I know.
Anyway, it's been lovely having you on the show. Thank you so much for playing. Jenna and Katie. Booker Prize-winning novels, Richard.
Yeah, on each board, we're going to show you the titles of 6 Booker Prize-winning novels. We'll also show you the name of the author as well. We've missed out the last word from each title. Can you tell us what those words are, please?
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal our Booker Prize-winning novels with missing last words, and here they are. The Remains of the Blank, Kazuo Ishiguro, 1989. Vernon God Blank, DBC Pierre, 2003. Wolf Blank, Hilary Mantel, 2009. Midnight's Blank, Salman Rushdie, 1981. The Ghost Blank, Pat Barker, 1995. And Hotel du Blank, Anita Bruckner, 1984. I'll read those again, just the titles. The Remains of the Blank, Vernon God Blank. Wolf Blank, Midnight's Blank, The Ghost Blank, and Hotel du Blank. There we go. Helen, what are you going to go for there?
I'm going to go for the second one down, Vernon God Little.
Vernon God Little, says Helen. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Vernon God Little. And that goes to 8. Very well done indeed, Helen. That's a great start to the round.
Yeah, very well played. Debut novel, that was, as well.
Yeah. Did you ever try and read it?
No. No. I think I read the first couple of pages.
Yeah, I think it's as much as quite a lot of people.
I wonder if this is not for me.
I don't think it's for me either.
Yeah. I'm sure it's terrific.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Now, Ray.
Yes.
So what are the missing words from these Booker Prize-winning novels?
Well, there's 2 there that I definitely do know.
Yes.
And there's 2 that I think I know. So what go on, I'll channel my inner Ben Stokes.
Good.
And I will go for Midnight's Children by
Midnight's
Salman
Children,
Rushdie.
says Ray. Let's see if it is Midnight's Children. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Midnight's Children. Not bad. 20 for Midnight's Children.
Yeah, very well done. They also won the Booker of Bookers, which to celebrate 40 years of the Booker Prize, they had a vote for the best ever Booker Prize winner, and it was that. So essentially tells the story of one of there's 1,001 children born on the birth of India's Declaration of Independence, born at midnight, and they're imbued with magical powers because of that.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Emma. This is your board. Do you want to dance down it, filling in all the blanks?
Do some of them. So it's The Remains of the Day, Wolf Hall, The Ghost. I want to say The Ghost Road, but I'm not sure about that one, and Hotel du Lac. So I think I will go for Hotel du Lac.
Hotel du Lac, says Emma. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Hotel du Lac. Hotel du Lac is right. Now, 20 is our high score, 8 is our low. You passed the high, there you are on 12. Very well done indeed.
I didn't have a single one, so...
Yeah, we've got 3 very smart pairs on today. If we hadn't given away that £16,750 on the last show, I suspect we'd be giving away today, wouldn't we? Well played, everybody there. Let's go through the rest of these. You're right, The Remains of the Day would have scored you 35. Wolf Hall, surprisingly, low score of 26. And if you had risked the Ghost Road, you'd had the best answer on the board, because you're right, and it would have scored 7 points. That's a great book. There's a trilogy, The Ghost Road, Regeneration, a third one, which I forget, but they're all terrific.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. We're halfway through the round. Let's just enjoy those scores. Well done, Janae and Helen on 8. 20 for Ray and Mick. You are the high scorers there, so we need a low score from you, Mick. We're going to come back down the line. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, let's put 7 more Booker Prize-winning novels with missing last words up on the board. And here they come. The Finkler, blank, Howard Jacobson, 2010. The English, blank, Michael Ondati, 1992. Lincoln in the blank, George Saunders, 2017. The Blind, blank, Margaret Atwood, 2000. The God of Small, blank, Arundhati Roy, 1997. And Rights of, blank, William Golding, 1980. I'll read those again for you. The Finkler, blank. The English, blank. Lincoln in the blank. The Blind, blank. The God of Small, blank. And Rights of, blank. OK, Becca. I think this is a tougher board than the previous one. What do you think?
I didn't know anything on the previous one either. I'm going to just have to take a guess. I'll go for the second one down, The English Patient.
The English Patient for Michael Ondati. Let's see if that's right. Here is your red line. How many of our 100 said The English Patient? The English Patient is absolutely right. Down it goes to 35. Not bad. 47 is your total.
Yeah, adapted into a famous film, of course, and that won the Golden Prize for 50 years of the Booker, The English Patient.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now then, Mick.
Yes.
What are you thinking, Mick?
I'm thinking I'm in big trouble here, Alexander.
26 or less gets you into the next round.
Yeah.
So what are the missing words from these Booker Prize-winning novels?
It's probably the worst subject I could have had in this one. I'm just going to have a guess at one, I think. Rites of Passage for the bottom one.
Rites of Passage, says Mick. Here is your red line. Let's see if you can get below that red line with rites of passage. It is rites of passage. And you are through. Very well done indeed. 1838 is your total.
Yeah, kept journals for 22 years, William Golding. Over 1 million words in there as well. Rites of passage.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now then, Janae. You are on 8. You have to score 38 or less. All these novels have won a Booker Prize. We've omitted the last word from each title. What is that missing word?
It's either, there's only 2 that I could guess at, and that would be The Blind Side or The God of Small Things. I think I'm going to go for The Blind Side.
The Blind Side for Margaret Atwood. Let's see if that's right. Here is your red line. The Blind Side. Bad luck, Janae. I'm afraid an incorrect answer there, scoring you 100 points, takes your total up to 108.
Yeah, there's a terrific non-fiction book by Michael Lewis called Blindside about American football, but this, another extraordinary novel by Margaret Atwood, The Blind Assassin. And that would have scored you 9 points. The God of Small Things was absolutely right, though. God of Small Things would have scored you 22 points. Would have seen you safely through. The Finkler...
Oh, I don't know. Finkler question, was it?
It is the Finkler question, yep. That would have scored you 8. And one of my favourite books over the last 10 years, this next one. It's so funny and so sad. It's got all that stuff. It's genuinely a brilliantly smart and clever and funny, not literary, although it is, but it's everyone would enjoy it. Lincoln in the Bardo by George Saunders. That would have scored 7 points.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, we are at the end of our second round and we have to say goodbye to one of our pairs. I'm so sorry, Janae and Helen, you are the pair to whom we must say goodbye. It's been great having you on both shows, and you were head-to-headers last time, let's not forget, so you've done incredibly well. But this is where we say goodbye. Janae and Helen, thank you.